We just got back from an unforgettable 5-night sailing on Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas, round trip from Los Angeles with an overnight stop in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. And we're bringing you everything you need to know about the largest ship to ever sail from the port of Los Angeles. This sailing was the perfect mix of adventure and relaxation. So let's dive into what makes this cruise ship such a hidden gem for families, couples, and anyone looking to sail from the West Coast. Ovation of the Seas is a Quantum class ship and one of the most innovative ships in Royal Caribbean's fleet. It holds around 4,200 guests and brings the wow factor. Think bumper cars, skydiving simulators, and the North Star observation pod. From some of these activities alone and other features on the ship, you can definitely see why this ship and other similar ships like it sail often in Alaska. There's even an indoor pool so you can enjoy splashing around despite what the weather is outside. You've also got the Seaplex, which is the largest indoor activity space at sea, perfect for roller skating, basketball, arcade games, bumper cars, and more. And don't miss the 270 lounge with floor-to-ceiling ocean views by day and immersive entertainment by night. So come along as we share all the tips and tricks you need to have an amazing sailing on Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas.
We are at Ovation of the Seas. And right next door you can see Navigator. This is the ship that normally sails from Los Angeles. So Ovation is definitely bigger. Oh, look at the little panda up there. How cute is that by the rock climbing wall? You can see the North Star. We made it! Oddly enough, I've sailed out of the port of Los Angeles. Ramil has sailed out of the port of Los Angeles. I've sailed with Avery out of the port of Los Angeles, but Ramil and I have not sailed together from here. So this will be our first cruise together sailing from Los Angeles, which is cool. Avery and I went on Navigator 2 years ago with my mom, the three of us, with the girls trip. So that was cool. But we are really excited about Ovation.
And also the beds were horrible.
Yeah, we had an interesting bed situation. I'll find a video or picture and post it here. But yeah. Yep. We got
All right, we just went through security and checked in. We're so excited.
We sailed round trip from Los Angeles with 2 full sea days and 2 days in Cabo San Lucas, including an overnight stay, which is super rare for a 5-night cruise. Having the overnight stay gave us time to do both, a daytime boat tour and a chill afternoon for food, drinks, and sunset views. It felt like a mini vacation within the cruise. Cabo is a tender port, so grab an early tender ticket if you want to maximize your time on shore. For our sailing, tender tickets were only needed for the first day, and then once they got through all those that had grabbed a free tender ticket reservation, you could then board the ship as you please.
Here's the famous Bionic bar. There's Uzumi's.
First things first, as soon as we board our ship, we like to take care of visiting our muster drill. This is part of the mandatory safety exercise, which you can start in the app by watching a video, and then all you have to do is stop by the muster station that is indicated in your app as soon as you connect to the ship's Wi-Fi.
All right, we're on deck 11 on Ovation of the Seas, and we are headed to the kids club, which is called Adventure Ocean. Let's go check it out, guys. Here it is. All right, they're supposed to have an open house. Let's check it out. And closer, here it is. Let's go check it out. Going upstairs. So actually, deck 12 this is the correct age group right here.
Is this my age group?
So we highly suggest when you get on board is to get to the kids club and register your child. You have to speak to one of the instructors over here, and they'll register your child, get your child familiar with the atmosphere around here and the things what to do. But these are the things that you'll probably want to do, and this is the only time they'll let parents explore and do the open house and check out all what is being offered to the kids club for your child. Yeah. All right. This is what I'm talking about. This is the only indoor pool, but there is a outdoor pool as well. Here's a running track out here. There is Navigator of the Seas next door to us. It's an older ship. And here's the North Star Bar. I hear some good music out here. All right, and there's the North Star. That thing cranks all the way up. It's basically a crane. Gives you good views of everywhere around the ship, a 360-degree view. All right, first things first. Shelby's grabbing a drink. What are you thinking there?
I want to buy the one that's like either watermelon margarita or I might do a Truly. I don't know yet.
Is that the only seltzer they have there? Probably a Truly, huh?
I have White Claw.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably just do a Truly. It's an overcast day, but the sun is actually peeking through now. You can feel the heat.
This is the main outdoor pool deck. You can see in the background that there is like a kid's splash pad area, which is really great for little ones. And then they will put lots of chairs out. This is just kind of when it was getting set up for the sail away party. And then of course the indoor pool. This might be one of my favorite features. I really enjoyed the vibe in here. There was a bar area, there was plenty of seating, and I found that this never seemed to be too packed. And on our last day at sea, it actually was a little chilly, windy, and overcast out, so it was nice that you had the option for an indoor pool. This pool area is all ages, which is really nice because there's also the solarium, which is kind of an indoor pool spa area, but that is for ages 18 and over only. So at least here you can hang out with some kids, there's a bar, you can grab some seats and just have a good time for the day.
Right now, we're just waiting to get on the North Star.
The North Star requires reservations, so if you want a chance to ride it for free, as soon as you're on board and connect to the ship's Wi-Fi, you will want to immediately start searching for the North Star Basic Experience. This is available for free on port days only. All of the other times you will find are actually paid experiences. They are longer and a little bit better views, of course, when you're out at sea, but this is at least a way that you can check it out for free.
Or stay in the middle. Please refrain from being close towards the door. Please stay away from the buttons. Just have fun, relax, and enjoy the view.
Yes. We are now rising above the ship.
Does it go out that way too, or?
Only on port days, it only goes up and down.
Straight up.
Yeah, on sea days, the paid one, it's extended. When guests always ask why, it's because we have a rule, or like the country rule or the authority rule, that we cannot go beyond our space.
It's actually an open sea.
Let me see it.
We stayed in an interior with a virtual balcony, which is a first for all of us. We normally get regular balconies when possible, but we wanted to give this new room option a try. As you can see here, the virtual balcony kind of brightens up the room and makes you feel a little bit like you're not trapped in a box. So it was a pretty cool feature to see. I will say the screen didn't work well at nighttime. I don't think the camera is designed for like night vision, but during the day it had some great views. Here is the desk area. There are a couple outlets here, 2 regular outlets and then 2 USB outlets and an international plug. There was a hot tea kettle and a mini beverage cooler here that could be used. I really like the drawer space here. This pulls out. I believe it would be a double sofa bed if you needed to sleep too, but it would be set up for our daughter by herself as one mini bed. There are some more drawers here above a cabinet that served as a closet with drawer space. A phone here on the left of the bed. I see an outlet on the right side. Some extra space up here that we didn't really use, but if you needed to, it's nice. There was ample storage space in this room. Here's the outlet on the right side of the bed and the second closet area, which was really big. And all of our luggage fit underneath the bed. There's a full-length mirror here by the door, and this was a connecting room. And then the standard Royal Caribbean bathroom for you. A couple little shelves on the right-hand side. One thing about Royal is they do a combo body wash, shampoo and conditioner, so definitely bring your own shampoo and conditioner. Overall, we really enjoyed this room, especially because we were spending time with a lot of family and friends on board, so we just weren't in our room very often, so it worked out perfectly for us. Here's the promenade area on the ship. I will say this seems smaller than even a ship like Navigator's Promenade, which is actually a smaller class ship. I think it's the way that it's broken up in the design of it. You'd have to be on board to really understand, but the way the music hall and some of the things are placed, they almost break up the promenade as opposed to being one sprawling big one. But still, it had some features that we really liked. There was a really cool wine bar, and then at the back of the ship there is the 270, which is a really neat venue. During the day you can kind of relax out there, lounge around, grab a snack, read a book, and you have these floor to ceiling windows, and then at night it becomes an entertainment venue. They also do things like trivia and other activities there as well. A few other features that the Quantum class ships are known for is the Flowrider Surf Simulator and then the Ripcord by iFly, which is a skydiving simulator. You'll also find on the back of the ship there is a rock climbing wall available, and these are just located behind the Seaplex, which is an indoor sports core and other activity zone. After exploring the ship for our first day, it was then departure time. We are pulling out here from the port of Los Angeles, which is located in San Pedro. So you can see lots of shipping containers all around the area. And then it was time for us to head to dinner because we were actually the early dining time in the main dining room. Day 2 of our cruise was a full day at sea, so I started the morning meeting my friend down for coffee around 6 a.m. and we went walking around the ship so we should get some really good footage and just check things out when it wasn't as busy. This is a better view here of the promenade. As you can see, it is not very large because at the end here there's a whole other venue behind the Amber and Oak pub. There is a 2-story music hall with pool tables and everything, so it kind of cuts off the promenade, giving it a smaller appearance than it has on other ships, even smaller ships like Navigator of the Seas. Now, this venue was really popular. They had a lot of activities here throughout the cruise. They would do karaoke in here. We did trivia in here, and it was almost too packed to hear because we were on that second level. We even went to a little daddy-daughter dance they had scheduled. So definitely look at your app to see what sort of activities are being hosted in the music hall. The solarium is the adults only area on the pool. You have to be 18 and over to come enjoy this area. It is located on the front of the ship on the pool deck, and it is one of my favorite places to hang out. As you can see, there's lots of different lounge chair options here, and then as you go further in, there are different pools and spas that you can sit at. There's also a really nice bar in this area. In the inside area, there's something called the Solarium Bistro. This is one of my enjoy hidden gems for a quick place to eat. They do allow kids in the bistro, which is nice, but we liked grabbing, breakfast, lunch. You can even do dinner there, but breakfast and lunch or a buffet, and you can just show up. You don't require any reservations. I believe to eat at dinner for the Solarium Bistro, you do need reservations, or at least they are highly recommended. So if you're on a ship with a Solarium Bistro, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's a lot more mellow and more chill than going to the larger Windjammer buffet. This was just an amazing solarium. I can totally see why this would be a vibe if you were sailing in Alaska. You still want to get some outdoor time, but being protected from the weather. And another look at the outdoor pool deck area, and again, the kids' splashaway bay little play zone. This ship unfortunately does not have the larger water slide, so for bigger kids, that is one thing that is lacking. I will say for Ovation especially, I feel like because they were catering a little bit more to Alaska cruising, there's more of those indoor things with the sports courts where they do bumper carts and video games. Although it does have the flow rider on the back of the ship and the ripcord by iFly simulator. However, I don't think those can entertain enough kids long enough to really replace larger water slides. So a ship like this with larger water slides would be incredible. I think that would be an awesome addition to it. Now, Royal Caribbean did announce that Ovation of the Seas is going to be amplified in 2026. This is really exciting to hear, but it's still not going to add water slides as far as I can tell. Here are the features that you can expect to see. So it's going to be doing the revamped pool deck. I imagine that might come with the brighter colors and likely the lime and coconut theming on the outdoor pool bars. There's also going to be those private casitas you see on some ships, and it says a new whirlpool. A few other things that are coming are they're going to add a Giovanni's Italian kitchen, and they're adding hibachi at Azumi Teppanyaki. I don't know where this hibachi is going, because one thing about Ovation is I felt like some of the specialty dining venues were really small, and some of them just didn't give the wow factor as you see on other ships. And the Azumi area especially was very small. It wasn't next to any windows, so you didn't have ocean views. So I'm really curious how they're going to do that. And for Giovanni's, I'm guessing they're going to change the Jamie's Italian restaurant to Giovanni's. That would just be my guess there. They're also adding a pesky parrot tiki bar, which I think would be really fun. I personally would like to see them replace the Bionic bar. I'm just not a fan of them. I don't think it makes good drinks. I think the novelty wears off after you've seen it the first time, so it seems like wasted space on a lot of ships, and especially this ship that I think needs more happening at the promenade to make it a little bit more lively and a fun place to hang out. I'm not exactly sure when they plan to do this, because it is set to cruise on Alaska adventures starting in spring 2026, but I am excited to see what they are bringing on board. There may be other features coming. I thought I read somewhere they're going to add an actual Starbucks, but I don't see this here in the press release, but maybe there's more information and more things that they are going to bring when they amplify Ovation. Here's another helpful tip for Ovation of the Seas. There is a cafe called Cafe 270 that is located in the back of the ship near the 270 lounge. This is another great place that you can grab a really quick breakfast or a lunch. It's similar to something like the Cafe Promenade or the Park Cafe that is on the Oasis class ships, where you can get little sandwiches, little bites, some fruit. They even have the specialty coffees here that are available on your deluxe drink package that are like brewed coffees and options, not a full Starbucks. But this is a great go-to if you need a quick breakfast or snack without all of the crowds and the rush of the Windjammer buffet. You can also head out to the 270 area. There are some tables, and it's just a nice, enjoyable place to even have a cup of coffee or a quick breakfast. After getting coffee and exploring the ship, I headed back to the room and we got ready for our day. This is what the couch looks like when it's set up for a bed, and we were off to explore the ship and start enjoying some of the activities. The rock climbing on Royal Caribbean ships is always a favorite of our daughters. You have to be at least 6 years old to do it, and make sure you pack socks. You will need socks to do things like rock climbing, roller skating. For the bumper cars, you also needed to be wearing closed toe shoes. So just be aware of that to make sure you have what you need. The pools on board have life vests available that you can grab and use as needed. And if you aren't aware, due to public health regulations, children who are in diapers and not 100% toilet trained cannot go in the pools, but they can use the baby splash pad facilities on board. That night, we did specialty dining with our friends. We ate at Wonderland. This is kind of an imaginative dining experience. As you can see here, you begin with, painting the menu to reveal what the items are. Then there are a variety of items that they bring out. Usually the server will recommend some of the appetizers to just kind of share amongst the table, and then you choose your entree. We got some different specialty drinks here as well, and it is just a fun, different experience that you can do on board a couple of the Royal Caribbean ships. I'm not sure how many ships it's on now. I've been to it on Wonder of the Seas, and I will say the dining venue here on Ovation was very, very small. I actually think this might be where they are going to put the teppanyaki tables for Izumi, because it's right next to Izumi. And I just feel like for what you pay here and the experience, this is just not a great dining venue, whereas the one on Wonder of the Seas has really beautiful windows and you're kind of overlooking the boardwalk area. But overall, this is definitely a fun thing to check out, especially if you go with a group and you get to try a variety of the items here like we did. We really did enjoy it. The next day of our cruise was day 3, and we were arriving in Cabo San Lucas, but we weren't due to arrive until around 1 p.m. So we had the morning to ourselves to again explore the ship. We ended up walking around. We went to the music hall, played at the pool tables. I did a little bit of work on board before we were due to arrive in Cabo. I also booked a cupcake decorating class for my daughter and I to try, so we did that before it was even time for us to get off the ship for the day.
So that's gonna be more soft. It's a slime, like a slime. Little girl, you know it.
The more you massage,
The more
nice
you
and
massage, the
softer.
more better. You're gonna put the chocolate chip in the middle of it. You put the chocolate chip on the. Okay. Yeah. It's good. I hope that you enjoy it. All right. Thank you.
Then let's put some snow.
Cynthia Sweeney.
All right, we have just arrived in Cabo. It is almost 2 o'clock. They're calling different tender ports to go. So we're just waiting for our tender ticket to be called. We are group number 25. If you don't get a chance to grab a tender ticket, there is an open time that'll be called up when anybody without a ticket can go. But if you want to get off a little bit quicker, you want to make sure you read, the papers in your stateroom when you get on board. Ours had information that you could grab tickets the day before. So that's exactly what we did.
All right, everybody, here we go. If you are holding on to tender ticket numbers 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, please make your way to deck 3 midship.
So another thing you need to know about Ovation of the Seas and other ships in a similar class, the Quantum class. So if they have things like the North Star and also the Ripcord by iFly, as soon as you get on board on embarkation day, you will want to log into your Royal Caribbean app, and this is when you can make free reservations to do these activities. Now, the free time slots are limited. So for instance, the Ripcord by iFly, the free slots are just a minute to try it out. Basically, you have to have a reservation, and it's only during port days. So we got one at 2 o'clock, then we're going to hop off the ship. And it was the same thing with the North Star. We were able to book the North Star and do a little short session on embarkation day while we were in port. But if you want to do longer versions of those, you can pay and reserve them. So I'm waiting for Ramil and Avery. They are going to be trying the Ripcord by iFly shortly.
They got checked in down below, and then I think they do like a little safety briefing or something before they come up here and try it out. So I will show you it. So they've got little benches where they'll come out, and then they will do like skydiving simulator. And then down here is the flow rider. It looks like they're doing they do group and I think personal classes that you can pay for, but they also have open sessions as well. So you just have to check the Navigator app to see when all those time slots are occurring. Oh, I see lots of jet skis out on the water here. That looks fun. The water looks really beautiful. There's, of course, boat tours, fishing tours. We're doing a coastal cruise tomorrow with the cruise line. Our friends are out on a camel riding excursion right now with Royal Caribbean as well. So there are some fun different things you can do here in Cabo. After they finished the ripcord by iFly, we took the tender boat to get off in Cabo San Lucas. We didn't plan anything for this first day in Cabo. We were just going to get off, walk around, maybe shop, and grab some margaritas and some good food. So since this was an overnight stay in Cabo, the tenders were running all the way until 1 a.m. So you could stay out and have a good time. I even heard of some people may book an overnight somewhere at a resort to get off the ship and enjoy. That would kind of stress me out to do, but I guess technically that is an option for you. And then tenders resumed the next day at 6:30 a.m. until noon. So we pretty much had 2 half days in Cabo, but it gave us a chance to explore it in the evening, which was really fun, and then also get up and do some morning activities as well. The next day, we were off the ship early for an excursion we booked with Royal Caribbean called the Deluxe Coastal Cruise.
This boat excursion, which is gonna last 2 hours. We're gonna be cruising the Cabo San Lucas Bay. We're gonna go out to the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of California or Sea of Cortez. So enjoy the ride, my friends. Bienvenidos. During this 2-hour excursion, we got open bar service with different choices and drinks and soft drinks. We got some juices, pineapple juice, cranberry.
We are now in our excursion and we are touring the famous arch. As you can see right behind me.
Which is an angle of granite rock formation located at the south of Monte Baja, Land's End, or Finisterra. We're stopping by for.
So right now we are going on the other side, leaving the Sea of Cortez and going to the Pacific side. Basically the other side of the arch. You'll probably see the arch here pretty soon. Yep, you can see it right there. It's a good view of the other side. Here is the other side of, I believe, Lover's Beach. And this is what you could expect on this excursion cruise. It is complimentary open bar. They have soft drinks, some punch, tequila sunrise, margaritas. They have two types of beers, but they've been consistent. They've been bringing it to you. What's up, my man? So yeah, these guys right here are working really hard, and they definitely deserve a good tip. So if you wanted to come on this excursion, no need to worry. They have a full, nice bathroom here. Okay. So that opening right there is the other side. It's some smaller area where usually all the boats go to, just because this side, as you can see, it's a little bit more rough. So you can't really beach the boats here. The other side is much safer. But as you can see here is the other side of the arch. Look at all these dolphins. Look it. Oh my gosh. We're in for a treat here. Look at these things. These things are so cool. Wow.
Turn it out. To the left. Can you bring it to the top? Like it never stopped. Can you bring it to the top?
We had an amazing time on this excursion. I highly recommend it. It's great for all ages. We went with some friends. The kids were having fun. It was lively on board, and open bar, and the facilities were really clean. Probably the cleanest bathroom I've ever seen on a boat. So definitely check that out if you are sailing to Cabo San Lucas. Once on board, it was back to main dining for us again. Here you can see some of the delicious food that we had in the main dining that night. And then we hurried over so we could go to the daddy-daughter dance that was happening in the music hall that night. Up next was our last day at sea, which we didn't do too much filming, but we did make sure we checked out some of the activities we didn't have a chance to do yet. First on the list was the flow rider, so we made sure we did that. Our daughter is tall enough, just barely, to do it on the boogie board, but not tall enough yet to do it standing up. So you have to check the height requirements, and then they have different sessions. This one was specific for boogie boarding, some are open sessions, or you can pay extra if you want more of a private or a group lesson on the flow rider. We also made sure we did the bumper cars that evening up in the Seaplex. That was the last thing we wanted to check off on our Ovation of the Seas bucket list. And that wraps up our 5-night adventure on Ovation of the Seas, sailing out of Los Angeles. This cruise gave us the perfect mix of relaxation and excitement. If you're thinking about cruising from the West Coast or just love exploring new ships, we hope this video gave you a real look at what it's like on board. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. We've got more cruise content coming soon, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.